What's up, everybody? Welcome into Driving the Line Prime Time Live Edition. I'm your host, Alan Bell. Got a great show lined up for you. If you're looking for the coach, he'll be back early next week. Make sure that he had all the time in the world to spend with his family because, man, it's important, and he doesn't get to all that much. So that's why you got me here. But you know what? Got a lot of guys to come help pick me up. We got a big game tonight. Got the Seahawks at the Bears. This is a must-win game for the Seattle Seahawks in Chicago. Well, hadn't been pretty this year, but give them credit. Boys haven't given up at all. I think we're going to have a better game than some people might think. And with that, no reason to waste any more time. Let's get right into the picks. As I bring in this esteemed panel right here, my man, Big Tom Carlucci. All right, first off, hope you had a Merry Christmas, buddy. And I know you're a little bit under the weather. You feeling better now?
Feeling better, folks. Happy holidays, fellas. And I'm glad to be here tonight with you at AB.
Hey, man. You know what? Happy to be with you, buddy. Same thing as my man Soupy down there in the bottom right. How we doing, big dog?
I'm feeling good. Great Christmas. I hope everybody else did. I hope everybody won some tickets on the NFL and NBA. But let's win some more tonight.
Hey, I tell you what, you know who's winning? The man wearing that hoodie right there. Looking good. Trust the beard. My boy, looking sharp. I love it. I know, dude.
I gotta look at
the I know. I do the same thing all the time. I point and I'm like, oh, that's not right. But point right here. My man, Big Chuck. All right. Now, Charles, here's the deal. First off, good to see you. Hold on. We're doing the morning show. All right. DG's hosting. I was producing, and I'm producing this one as well. So if I'm not as active in the chat, understand that's why. But this morning, we literally had people writing in during the show. I just cashed another one with Chuck, cashed another one. So it looks like you had a good day. Good to see you, buddy. How we doing?
Evening, AB, DTL crew. Yeah, the live plays were going off the board, so we were cashing those quite regularly. We had some challenging games than others, but hey, NFL's around, so we'll see if we'll do a little bit better with that.
I got a feeling you will. Just like, hey, LC, Vegas in the house. LC, so good to see you. 100% good to see you. And Anthony Allen, new member, welcome in. I assure you that the crew is going to pull you up a chair. If you need anything, let them know. Let us know. We got you. Welcome in. We really do appreciate you. And, of course, everybody in the chat, don't worry. Keep those comments coming. I'm going to get to them for sure. But we got a game to break down, boys. All right, so let's take a look here. All right, last we saw Seahawks -5. All right, Bears +195 on the money line. A total of 41.5. So, Soupy, I'm going to throw it over to you. We were just talking about this game, and it could be weird. It's a must-win for the Seahawks. I'm going to stop talking. What are your initial thoughts here?
We were talking about, and I think we could see the Bears' best effort in this game. I'm going to take the Bears getting that 5 points. And they have been playing a lot of good teams. Seattle, though, just right now, they don't convince me. I'm really hoping that Seattle loses this game because I don't want to see them in the playoffs. I'd rather see the Rams. I think the Rams are the better team. But so hopefully tonight we see Seattle go down and end this tumultuous season for them.
It's tumultuous season. Look, they credit the boys. They haven't given up. Again, it hasn't been pretty by any means. And we're going to break down the numbers exactly why. But, dude, I'm with you. Now, real quick. Melanie, the minister of DTL culture, says, Soupy, beard looking trimmed up. Nice. Look at you, boy.
How to get it looking nice for the holidays. Got taking all those pictures with the family. Got to look good.
There we go. I like it. All right. Somebody who's always looking good. Big Tommy. All right. So Seahawks is a must-win game. What's your initial thoughts here on either side?
I think, like you said, the Seahawks have to win because if the Rams win on Sunday, the Seahawks are out of the playoffs. And I agree with Soupy, man. I want to see a really good game tonight. I would like to see Caleb Williams start off hot because if he doesn't start off hot, it just seems to go downhill real quick for that guy. So we'll see what happens tonight. I don't think the weather's going to be a factor. It's probably going to be cold. It is cold. It's December. It's in Chicago. I hope to see a really good game tonight.
Yeah, I do too, and look, B-Rock brings up a good point in the chat. Concerns of Bears O-line losing. Yeah, dude, it was already brutal. You know what I mean? Like, that's the big concern. And, Tommy, I think that you just brought up a good point in the fact that, the Bears, oh, my God, have to start quick. You cannot let Seattle get up because then it's just every game that they've seen, and they just don't have the firepower. However, I think we all agree that, if Chicago could find a way to get up and get some momentum, That's a lot of skeleton types in the closet. You know what I mean? Like you could exercise a lot of demons, but you got to jump up first in order to do it. Big Chuck, coming over to you, buddy. What are your thoughts here initially when you see this?
If this is a lower scoring game, I definitely like the Seahawks. A higher scoring game will definitely benefit the Bears. But the way this one's looking, I was originally leaning with the Bears, but the more that we get closer to kickoff, I'm leaning towards the Seahawks and the under. I wish that we had a couple more points and you could tease it down, but you know the old law, you can't tease it unless it's at a 6.5 to get the half a point. For whatever reason, can't take it down to the plus. But yeah, I'm definitely like the Seahawks, and I'm liking the under the most in this game.
Hey, man, you know what? Make your own rules in sports betting. It's not like anybody out here has the concrete way to do it. All right. You want to do it? Go ahead and do it. Hey, that's why. All right. So we have this game, and we're going to break it down from every single angle. If you're brand new here, we're going to hit you with props. We're going to hit you with over-unders on quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, all of that. But you know what? I hate how every show, and Soupy, I'll tell you, when we started this a year ago, right, the first thing that we said was, number one, this is about the community, all right? And it has been from day one. But number two, I hate how all shows make you wait until the end for your picks. You know, like I don't like it. I've never liked it. It's like, let me get the picks, and then we can talk about this game, and we can break them down even more. So we're going to do exactly that. Let's bring these things up. And, yeah, Soupy, start with you, buddy. What do you got?
Yeah, we're hoping that the Bears could get off to a great start, but they haven't. Over the last 4 games, we have something in common with the Bears. In the first quarter, we have all not scored a single point. Seattle, they've scored 5.7 this year, 12.3 in their last 3 games. I think that they can get off to a hot start, so I'm taking them in the first quarter minus 0.5. And over the last, and during this 9-game losing streak, the Bears have been down by 14 in 5 of them. Actually, no, 6 of them. They've lost by 14 in 5. They've been down by 14 in 6. I think Seattle is going to get to an early start. We've seen that the Bears have gotten to a big deficit early in halftime. They start to make adjustments, and they do creep in back to these games later. But I'm still thinking that Seattle will at least hold a 2-touchdown lead in this game.
You know what? I like that. And I'll go ahead just because I want to piggyback off of that. I think that this game could be a little wild as well. And I think we do see scoring. So I'm going to take the Seahawks and the Bears, both teams to score 17 points or more each at minus 110. Again, I understand the Bears have not been a scoring machine this year, but I think that they can do it. In Seattle, I mean, we just talked about it. It's do or die, right? Like, I mean, you have to win this damn game. And then second, 2-point conversion attempt, all right, from either team, plus 165, and it doesn't mean that it's successful. We just have to have one team attempt it. The Bears, I believe, have the most in the NFL at 3, either first or second, tied for second there. But again, when you start having, balance kind of get out of whack, and especially if the favorite who's in do or die mode is behind, you start to see weird stuff. And I think that also in terms of field goals, kicking, even when the weather's fine in Chicago, and wind is blowing, like you get one missed field goal, 2 touchdowns in the game. Yeah, it starts getting wild. So I'm going to take those 2. Now, Tommy, coming over to you, buddy. Seahawks on the money line.
Yep, minus 205. And as we know, the Bears have lost their last 9 games. But a big note on this, that the last 10 of 11, their road games that they have had, the Seahawks have covered the spread. That's why I'm going with the money line here tonight. And still, the Bears have to start off hot. They want to compete with the Seahawks tonight, too.
Yes, they do. And I'm fascinated to see, because in every, and I'll pull this down for a second, college, high school games, NFL games, right? Especially when you have offensive, focus on your team, you're going to script your first 5, 10, 15 type plays. Andy Reid scripts his first 15 every game, no matter what. Okay. So I'm fascinated to see what Chicago's looks like because, like you said, you've got to go. You cannot wait. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing that you're playing for other than let's get a look at our guys. Let's see what we can do. And can we get a win? Can we just have a happy locker room one time? You know what I mean? So I'm with you. I'm fascinated to see what the Bears look like there. All right. Big Chuck, coming back over to you, buddy. Didn't want to believe you last, but best looking for last. How about that? What do you got?
And we can actually both win on ours, AB, with the Bears team total under 19.5. And what I see is a lower scoring game. I have the Bears staying under 20 points, which they have done in 3 straight and 5 of the last 7. So, yeah, definitely liking the Bears team total under 19.5.
There we go, man. There we go. All right. So you got the Bears team total under. Soupy, you're going with the Seahawks there, in the first quarter. And you said that's half a point, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
They just got to be winning by 1.
Yeah. Like, that's solid, man. Like, okay, before we get into more, I like to just whiteboard the game. So I'm going to throw a question at you, and I understand that you had no idea that this is coming, and it's one of those annoying questions, but this is how I start every single one. All right. What do you think the final score is? And it doesn't have to be exactly right. Like, just a rough estimate here, right? So, Soupy, I'll start with you. Like, give me an idea of how you think that this game goes in terms of scoring.
I think we're going to see Seattle jump out to a big lead, and I think Chicago could start to creep in. I'm a little nervous. I think this is going to be a one-dimensional Chicago team. DeAndre Swift is not running that well over his last few games, but I do think they start to creep back in. I'm thinking it's going to be 27-23. That's why I still like Chicago getting the 5 points.
Okay. All right. I like it, man. Tommy, what do you like, bud?
And it's not like Chicago don't have nobody to throw to, right, man? They got DJ Moore, they got Keenan Allen, man, and they should be able to score. I agree with Soupy. I think Seattle's going to jump early. I'm saying 27-21 Seattle.
Okay. All right. Big Chuck.
I'm liking more like of a 24-10, 24-13 Seattle.
Okay. I like it, man. I was kind of in the same boat. I'm going to be honest. I think Chicago could win this game. I'm not saying it because, God, it's been brutal to get points with them. But when a team has nothing to lose, and they're just looking for one time, man, like one time, if they could do it, if they could just get some points in the first quarter, the first half, they've got a shot. But, God, man, Seattle can also score quick. Like, They don't always do it, and I worry about Geno and his health a little bit, but, dude, they can score fast. Like, these two teams are not time of possession teams. In fact, Chicago actually has a better time of possession than Seattle does this year. And you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll stop talking right there because we could break this all down with the quarterbacks and the teams in general. So if you guys don't mind, give me a couple minutes here. Let me just hit the no-fly zone. All right, let's start off with these two teams that we were just talking about here. You've got the Seahawks and the Bears. Points per game, Seahawks 14th in the NFL, 22.6. Bears 26th with 18.9 points per game on average this year. Points per game allowed. Look at them, pretty even. 13th in the NFL, 14th in the NFL, giving up 22 points. Seattle, look at that. Look how consistent that is, all right? Right at the 22s. Now, we just talked about it, time of possession. Seattle is 4th worst in the NFL. Okay, at only 28 minutes per game. Chicago 17th, 29. Obviously, it's under 30, so the other teams have the ball more than they do. Now, passing offense, 4th best for the Seahawks, 27th for the Bears. Seahawks, 17th ranked pass defense, Bears, 22nd. Here's where it gets rough. Rushing offense for the Seahawks, 30th. 25th for the Bears. Rushing defense, 18th and 26th. Gross. That's why I do think that we could see points tonight. But is it going to come in the air or on the ground? All right, let's start here with Geno Smith. All right, this was last week against the Vikings. Now, understand he's throwing a lot, okay? 31 of 43, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 314 yards. All right, Geno can make pretty much every throw in the league. You look at his passing chart here. He's not afraid to throw it over the middle. In fact, that's what Seattle does very well. They use their big body wide receivers to hit you in crossers across the middle, generally 10 yards and in. Very short, safe. All right, Geno knows where he's going with the ball. You look at the Bears secondary here. Yeah, we just talked about it. Not that great, but they're solid short, okay? They're good in the short to intermediate quadrants of the field, 10 yards and in. That's why I find this fascinating of if they could cause problems for Geno. But look at deep. Gross. Not good at all. And that's where the Bears secondary gets into trouble because teams will lean on their linebackers and force their safeties all over the field and find mismatches. Now, move it over to the trouble areas. Short. That's where Geno could get into trouble. If he's going to throw a pick, watch the line of scrimmage. Watch a very short pass get picked. But look at deep left. Great. Deep right. Great. All right. Deep middle. Not bad, all things considered. Okay. But short middle of the field, trouble. Short left, trouble. Short right, trouble. Keep an eye there. Now, you're going to see the game scripts for the Seahawks here. 2 plays called at each snap. You know why? We just talked about the safeties for Chicago, linebackers for Chicago. They can only do so much. Their defense has had problems this year. So what you're going to see the Seahawks and Geno do is come to the line with 2 plays, a pass play and a run play. And they're going to look at the defense. All right, put somebody in motion. When they put someone in motion, if a safety follows, you're in man coverage. If he doesn't follow and the corner on the other side picks him up, they're in zone coverage. Geno's going to do that all night long. And whichever one you're trying to cover, the deep pass, here comes the run. You're up trying to stop the run. Here comes the deep pass. Watch it. It could be beautiful. Hard counts and audibles. We just talked about audibles going into different plays. Hard counts because Chicago's defense, their biggest problem penalty-wise, offsides. All right? Look for Seattle to use that. Hard count them. Try to get them to jump. Get a free first down. Geno, wow. Passing has been 10 yards and in and safe. Tonight, throw it deep, throw it deep, throw it deep. You're going to have those opportunities, and it's going to open up everything for Charbonnet running on the ground. And finally, use the play clock to your advantage. Take your time. You're not in a rush, okay? Force Chicago to make a mistake because most games in football at any level, more games are lost than games are won. 3.5 stars for Geno to throw a pick. Now, jumping over to Caleb Williams here, all right? This versus the Lions. 26 of 40, 334, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Say what you will about Caleb Williams. This man does not throw interceptions. And for a rookie, look what he's doing, right? He'll spray on the left. He'll spray on the right. This guy, in fact, he generally has deeper passes than Geno does, all right? This is a rookie. Now, they don't have a ton of talent in Chicago, but they've got wide receivers. He just needs time with that offensive line, and we talked about 2 dudes being out. You take a look at Seattle secondary, they're great short, but not great deep, except for deep right. Caleb likes to go there. Buddy, what you're going to see, and we're going to break down the passing chart, spray it left when you throw deep. Crossers, that's what can get Seattle's defense into trouble. All right? Caleb's trouble area is essentially one. Deep middle. You see this almost kind of fat diamond area that we've got here. All right? Deep right, deep mid, deep left, deep intermediate. Okay? This circle right here, might as well just call it, all right, the no-fly zone. It's going to be trouble right there. But if he can use the boundaries, all right, and be safe, he could have a very successful night throwing. Now, game scripts for the Bears, find a run game. You're going to have to run the football. DeAndre Swift is going to have to run the football or bring somebody else, or Caleb, you're going to have to do it yourself. We just talked about passing, throw short outside, deep crossers to the left, all right? Transcontinental routes. Start short right, go all the way across the field left. Bring those safeties in and then cut them deep. Long huddles, fast snaps, all right? Do not get false starts, okay? Be understanding of what you're doing, all right? Take your time in the huddle. Get to the line, go, all right? Do not take time and force young offensive linemen to stand and squat there for 10, 15 seconds because that's how you get a false start. Do it in the huddle, get up to the line, and go. And finally, I think you're going to see a lot of 4th down attempts tonight because why the hell wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you at all? So go for it. Be aggressive. Use Caleb on the ground. 3.5 stars for our man to throw a pick tonight. So, all right. All right, throw it to you guys. After having just seen that, let's take a look at the quarterbacks here, okay? And break them down. And let me pull it so everybody can see. All right, Soupy, I'm going to start with you. And you can look at it from a betting perspective. You can look at it from a football fan perspective, from a Prize Picks DFS perspective. Like, what do you see out of the passing game tonight on either team, either quarterback, or both?
I think we're going to see a lot of passes from Caleb tonight. He's been throwing a lot more over the last few weeks. I don't know if it has to do with just DeAndre Swift not being able to run the ball, or do they just want to give Caleb as many reps as possible just to give him looks. But I definitely love his overpassing attempts. And I think this is going to be the case where a lot of garbage time comes in and he gets that over 216.5 passing yards.
Yeah, it's a pretty attractive number, man, all things considered, especially if they can't run the football and if they're behind. I mean, dude. It's not like Seattle holds the ball either, right? Like, you've got to have snaps. I'm with you on that one. All right, Tommy, what are you looking at? Either quarterback. What do you see, bud?
I like Geno Smith for the longest pass, 36.5 yards, man. He's going against a Chicago defense that is terrible against the pass. He's going to want to throw the ball. He's got a guy to throw to, like a man called Metcalf and a couple other dudes on that team. I'm going longest pass tonight, 36. They're going to let it all hang out tonight because they really need to win this game.
Yeah, and why not, right? Like, again, go for it. Go for it indeed. All right, Big Chuck, what are you seeing, bro?
I liked over in both the passing yards. I had 214.5 and 240 on Caleb and 248.5 on Geno earlier in the week. So yeah, definitely liking those overs plus the interception. I think Caleb serves one up tonight, and Geno. I always love those primetime picks.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Caleb is so due for an interception. And I hate to say it because it's like, look, man, I know he's caught heat ever since the day he got drafted. Dude, he just doesn't throw them. The man does not throw interceptions, but I'm with you, man. I think that he's absolutely due for one. Okay. Now, like I said, man, I like getting the picks. We got prop picks to get to as well. Soupy, would you like to start us off? Would it be good luck?
Let's do it. I think that this is going to be a one-dimensional game for the Bears, just because Swift, he has just been awful. I think this might be a one-and-done year for him. His carries are starting to diminish. He's gone under 14 in 4 of his last 5, and he's averaging just 3.1 yards per carry in that span. So I got him under 14.5 rush attempts. But the running back that I do love is Zach Charbonnet. Kenneth Walker is out, and every time he's out, they just feed Charbonnet the ball. Chicago has been terrible against the run, 31st in rushing yards allowed per game, and they have allowed this number 7 straight games and 11 of 16 overall. So give me Charbonnet over 16.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like Charbonnet gets more carries than Kenneth Walker does, like comparatively. Like, you're right. Like, they love feeding Charbonnet, man. They absolutely do. All right, Tommy, you got 3 plays here, buddy. What are you looking at?
Yeah, when you're going against a Chicago defense, fellas, that's 22nd against the pass, and your team's 4th on the offensive end. I'm taking Geno Smith, 200-plus passing yards, minus 450. I'm taking Geno Smith again, 2+ passing touchdowns, plus 110. And my man, DK Metcalf, 60 receiving plus yards at minus 125. Again, when you're 22nd against the pass, you throw the ball.
Yeah, you definitely do throw the ball for sure. All right, Big Chuck. Got 1 play. Look, I like you. You're focused in tonight, my boy. What are y'all?
DJ Moore over 57.5 receiving yards. Despite the Bears' offensive flaws, DJ still racks up the receiving yards, getting at least 58 receiving yards in 4 of his last 6. Plus, the team should be motivated to get into 1,000 yards. He only needs 170 more to reach that goal this season.
There we go, man. There we go. All right, 3 plays for me. Geno Smith, interception. Yep. Caleb Williams. Tonight's the night, buddy. 1 interception as well. Yeah, right? Like, it's the night. And then finally, Keenan Allen. Longest reception, over 20.5 yards. You take a look here. I mean, number 1, the guy's been a receptions guy his entire career, but not that he doesn't have a deep threat. And 20.5 is very attainable. Look at his numbers, man. His longs, 40, 24, 36, 36, 36. Like, this dude gets him, and I think that he's going to have pretty much every opportunity out here. And we only need 1 to get it over 20.5. That's all we've got to do. So, yeah, give me those 3. And let's let it rip right there. All right. You want to break down some more players? Does that sound good?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Let's take a look here at running backs. And I'll tell you what, Big Chuck, I'll come to you first, man. Zach Charbonnet, DeAndre Swift. What do you like? What do you dislike here from either guy?
I actually like the longest rush for Mr. Charbonnet. I think everyone's going to be on his rushing yards, but I think he's going to break one for at least 17 yards. And then DeAndre Swift, I would maybe even look at the under 59.5 for him. But then anytime touchdown plus 165 also is appealing. Even though he goes under, he still could be a sniff out one from around the goal line. So the anytime touchdown and the under for DeAndre.
I swear the Bears, I swear it's every game that they'll be on offense, draw a defensive penalty, and get the ball at the 1. I swear they have it every game. Now, a lot of times they don't even put it in. Like, they'll go 4 times and get stoned at the wall. But I swear, man, like, I'm with you on DeAndre Swift. Like, Charbonnet minus 195 anytime TD for a team that throws it a lot. A whole lot, man. I get, Chicago's run defense, right? Like, that's what we're banking on. But, dude, those are, for Charbonnet, those are big numbers, man. Tommy, I throw it over to you, buddy. What are you looking at?
I like DeAndre Swift, attempts 15.5. Since they got 2 offensive line out, you got to establish the run, though. You got to keep Leonard Williams off the back of Caleb Williams. DeAndre Swift, the guy that can do that. I like the attempts, and I also like the longest rush, 13.5 yards. Because when he gets the ball, man, you never know where he's going to go. And I think that's easy for him for the longest rush, 13.5 yards. They really have to establish the run just to keep the heat off of Caleb with Williams coming at you all night long.
Yeah, they do need to keep him safe, man. And I'm fascinated to see what they do with that, right? Like, can you get a screen game going? Can you get a short passing game as a de facto run game, right? Like, get to the line, snap it, and throw it. Like, get the ball out of your hands. I'm interested to see that. But, Soupy, I throw it over to you, man. What do you see out of either of these guys?
You know how quarterbacks like to give their offensive line gifts at the end of the year?
Yeah.
I think that DeAndre Swift and Miles Sanders need to give the Philadelphia offensive line anything that they want, because these guys excelled in Philadelphia. And as soon as they left, you see it in Miles Sanders in Carolina. You're seeing it with Swift in Chicago. They cannot find the gaps. They are absolutely terrible in their new homes. I'm going all the unders for Swift, and I like Charbonnet's over 16 attempts. I think they are going to just hammer that terrible defensive line, and I think he squeaks a few by. And I'm taking the 2 touchdowns for Charbonnet.
Nice. Plus 290. Yeah, I mean, I could see them being very conservative in the red zone, right? Like, just don't throw a pick. Field goals, definitely, like, when you're the favorite and you need to win, go Sean McVay route. Don't be stupid. Take points. Be safe. If we're going for 7, but we end with 3, fine. I can deal with that. Let's just get points. Do not turn it over, and do not pick sixes down there. Can happen. You could go 99 yards like that because there's nobody back to protect. So I'm with you, man. Like, that plus 290, those 2 touchdowns, could be a solid
pick six.
play.
The pick 6 against Seattle has happened this year. Happened with my Giants. He picked 6 Geno right. I think they were at the 5-yard line and that happened.
Right.
So
Dude, you cannot stare down a receiver in the red zone, dude, because it only takes 1 step in order to do it. My man Roger Long says, yeah, AB's back home for the drive-thru. Indeed, we are back in the friendly confines. All right, let's take a look at wide receivers here. All right, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Keenan Allen. Okay, so Chuck, I'll come back to you, man. What are you looking at here on either guy, both guys, like, dislike?
Absolutely on Njigba, the receiving yards and receptions, I think he's going to go way past. I think he gets at least 7 or more there. He flies over the 75.5. And then Keenan Allen, how was you on that longest reception? And then look at that anytime touchdown, that plus 215. He generally is a magnet. He used to be a magnet, still is. I think he caught one a few games back also in garbage time against the Vikings. So plus 215, I think that's worth a little sprinkle also for Mr. Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I do too, man. And we say it like, I think Chicago takes shots all night, because why the hell not? Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Seattle could come out blast him, but I'm with you, man. Longest receptions, anytime TD for guys like that. Yeah, definitely, man. Tommy, throw it over to you, buddy. What do you see?
I like Jigba with the anytime touchdown, man. He's kind of become the number 1 receiver on that team. Everybody thinks Metcalf is, but it's really him right now, and that's going to offset each other. That's why I like the anytime touchdown tonight with Jigba.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jackson, his receiving yards right there, 75.5. I think DK was in the 60s. I think I can't remember exactly where it was. I mean, you're right. Like Jackson's numbers are always larger than DK's. All right, Soupy, what are you looking at here, man? What do you like, dislike?
We're kind of showing just how these two offenses are when we're highlighting the two slot receivers. So for me, I love Keenan Allen's receptions. He's been getting 6 catches regularly over the last few weeks. I'm even going to take his reception yards. I'm going to take the over 75.5 for Smith and Jigba. And with them peppering these two slot guys, they're going to take shots deep. That's why I will take DK Metcalf's. I think it's at 23.5 for his longest reception. And same thing with DJ Moore. I'll take their longest receptions because they are going to try to go over the top with those guys.
Yeah, they definitely are, man. And I'll tell you what, like, let me pull the screen up real quick on Geno here, just so we can take a look. Like, outsides, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, he's gonna find, and DK is not afraid to go across the middle as well. I mean, you look, that was Caleb Williams, but still, like, you take a look at your deep right, intermediate right, and again across the middle. Now, the crazy thing is that, like, this passing game is 5 yards and in, and I understand it because you want it to be safe, and you are using a lot of it as a de facto run game, but you do get a lot of yak, and I think that tonight could be a yak game for these guys, as well as physically catching it, right? Like beyond 20 plus yards. But I think
believe,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I believe Gino or DK has 20 plus reception in 10 of his 13 games this year. And Chicago has allowed 53 completions of over 20 yards, which is in the bottom 5. So I really do like that DK play.
That's insane. That's a huge number, man.
Yeah.
An absolute huge number. Okay. Now, look, tonight's show is going to be quick. All right. We're going to get right to it. Let you get your bets in and get out because you know what? None of us can beat Coach. None of us could do it like him. And we're not going to try to do it. But we'll go over our picks real quick just for anybody who might have jumped in late. Let's take a look at our game picks here. All right. Real quick. Soupy, start us off.
The Bears, they have gone scoreless in the first quarter in 4 straight. Seattle, they're 5.7, and the Bears have allowed 12 points in the first quarter over the last 3 games. I think Seattle jumps out to a quick lead. Give me the -0.5 in the first quarter. And the Bears have had a deficit of 14 or more points in 6 of their last 9 games. I think Seattle gets that 2-touchdown lead. Give me the largest lead over 13.5 points.
There we go. Big Tommy, what do you like here?
I love the Seattle Seahawks money line -205. They're going to start off hot. They're going to be from pillar to post here, man. They're going to take the lead, and they're going to keep it all night long.
Pillar to post, baby. I like it. Big Chuck, what do you see here?
Bears team total under 19.5. Like I said, I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. They've went under this 20 points in 3 straight and 5 of their last 7.
There we go. All right, I'm going with the Bears and the Seahawks. Both teams score 17 plus points at -110. And a 2-point conversion attempted in this game can come from either team. Doesn't even have to be successful. Just try it. Either team. This one could get weird. That's the style of game that I like. You know, we always like to go punts, but I don't know. We might not have punts. I say that and there'd be 21 punts in this game, but yeah, like that one's tough inside the 5. I'm going to go with a 2-point conversion on this one at +165. Okay, now, as I pull this up, let's go over our prop bets here. Soupy, start us off again. What do you got?
I think the Bears are going to be very one-dimensional. DeAndre Swift, he has gone under this number in 5 of his last 6. I think they start to fade him in this offense completely. Give me the under 14.5 rush attempts. Charbonnet, he is not getting faded. He is going off tonight. Give me the 68.5 rushing yards.
There we go. Look, man, my man Ray Harvey said baseball on the way. Yes, sir, it is. We're almost there. Big Tommy Carlucci, what are you looking at here, bud?
I love Geno Smith, 200-plus passing yards. In the last 3 games that they were favorites, he threw for 284 yards or more passing yards. I love Geno Smith, plus 200. I love him throwing 2 TDs tonight, and I like DK Metcalf getting 60-plus receivings. Nothing but throwing the ball when you're going against a team that's 22nd against the pass.
You are correct, my man. Look. All right, my guy, Abby says, look, love the over. Okay. Here we go. You know what? I do too. Like, I think that there are going to be way more points scored this game than some might think. Big Chuck, you think there's going to be over some receiving yards for one of your boys? Let it rip.
Mr. DJ Moore over 57.5 receiving yards. I know Caleb's going to feed him as the number one. He's went over 58 receiving yards in 4 of his last 6, and I expect him to get at least 6 or more receptions also.
Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going with Geno Smith to throw a pick, going with Caleb Williams to throw a pick, going with Keenan Allen, longest reception, over 20.5 yards at -115. Okay, now we've gotten here to the most fun part of the show. Now, here's the interesting part. All right, Soupy, well done, bro. Welcome to the club. Got it. All right, good to see you in here. Everybody in the chat, drop yours. How we play this game is this. You have to choose the first touchdown scorer of the game, but it has to be at odds of +1,000 or more. It's a difficult game to do. All right, if you win, you get a gym, but it's tough. It's absolutely tough. So, Soupy, you're the newest one in here. All right. Tina's got you with a table, some drinks ready to go. I'll let you go first. Let me pull it up here. Let it rip, bro.
All right, Tina, let me give you this one, then we'll take our shots later. I'm going with my boy Keenan Allen. He's gotten over 6 catches a lot over the last few games. He's become Caleb's most dependable receiver. I think he's going to get that first touchdown tonight. And here comes gem number 2.
Number 2, indeed. All right. Big Chuck, go next, buddy. What do you got?
Geno Smith. I know Geno is banged up, but if we can get a QB sneak situation around the goal line, I like our chances of Geno getting his 3rd anytime touchdown of the season and that gem to start the game.
All right, Big Tommy.
Coach made it into the club. Holy moly.
He did. He did.
I know he did. Boy, you won't be able to fit his head in this place anymore. Are you kidding? I like Tyler Lockett plus 2,000. You're going to key on Jigba. You're going to key on Metcalf. And guess who's going to get that first touchdown? Tyler Lockett plus 2,000.
Tommy, not only are you just a good-looking young man, you're a smart guy, because I was thinking the same way, except the other side with DK Metcalf at plus 1,000. These are the guys to do it. I like the way that you think. Coach, he does have a gym. He's going with Caleb Williams here. Get it down inside the 5 and let the dog run, man. Caleb Williams plus 2,000. And producer, man, look, he's been making good picks on these as of late. He's going to get in at some point. I thought he was going to get in over the weekend, to be completely honest with you. But he's getting close. He's going with DJ Moore at plus 1,300. So there we go. All right, now, those are those. That's it. Like I said, we're going to be quick. Let everybody get in, get out, get your picks, get ready for the game. I know day after Christmas, still got family and all that, so we don't want to take up all your time. But I do want to throw it around, final couple seconds, like just your final thoughts on this game, what you think. Soupy, I'll go to you first, man. What do you say?
I think it's going to be a more fun game than people might perceive this going in. I think it's going to be a closer game, and I'm going to give you a stay on your toes play. Race to 5 points. Give me Seattle minus 185. Combine that with the first quarter total. If you get a touchdown in that first quarter, you might hit it.
Yeah, you know what? You might. I'll say this. For anybody out there that is looking at betting the under, like you think there's just not going to be any points whatsoever, bet over 2.5 turnovers in the game. All right, you can get it even money, minus 110, somewhere around there. All right, it counts for both teams, and you don't have to play just interceptions, right? Like counts for fumbles, counts for all that, because it's probably not going to be a ton of punting, but there could be. If you think it's going to be under, it means it's going to be sloppy on both sides. So if you think that there's just 0 points being scored, yeah, take a look at that one. Big Chuck, man. What do you think?
Correlation, the way I see this one, Seahawks and under, but if you like the Bears, roll with the over.
There we go. Tommy, bring us home, brother.
Man, I got to tell you, man, why wouldn't Chicago just let it all hang out tonight, right? You got nothing to lose. You got good receivers, right? Just let it all hang out. And all the pressure's on Seattle, right? Because if they don't win and the Rams win Sunday, they are out of the playoffs. Going to be a really good game tonight, but the pressure's on Seattle. Chicago, just let it all hang out.
Hey, you know what? If you're Caleb Williams, you're looking over saying, none of these coaches are going to be here next year. I'm here next year. All right, I'm calling the offense. I'm doing what I want on this one. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate you. And I understand that it's been, a holiday week and the host coach is not here. Look, He'll be back next week. We just want to make sure that our man has time. That dude puts in more hours than any of us here, and he's with his family, his parents, his kid. So just hang tight with us. I know it's been a little bit different, and I mean, how could you hate any of these ugly mugs right here? But it's just not the same, and I get it. But early next week, Coach will be back in the saddle. Don't worry. But we want to make sure that our man, we took care of him. Absolutely. We'll be live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. Remember, Soupy, check me if I'm wrong. We have 3 Saturday NFL games, correct?
Yeah.
We have 3 Saturday games. We had the Wednesday game, so you might know where you sit in your fantasy championship right now. So you might have to make some decisions come Saturday morning.
Obby said it's DG's head getting a little big yet. Yeah.
Long as the Giants lose, Soupy. Long as the Giants keep losing, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, let's get that one pick.
Okay, so we'll talk about this soon enough. But Saquon against the Giants in that last game, going for 2,000.
Oh my God!
I know.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, he's getting it. He's getting
like
it.
He's 172 yards away from 2,000. All right, they've got the Cowboys at home. What you want is him to go for 200 against the Cowboys. Just get that thing done. Yeah, I'm fascinated with that one. Fascinated. So we'll see. But anyways, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. But until then, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. And we will see you in the morning. And best of luck on these gym picks. Let us know on Twitter if any of yours hit, because you guys been crushing it, man. And it's awesome. So we'll see you in the morning. Have a good night.